Okie dokie. Do live chat. Live chat. Doo-doo-doo. I think you guys can see me now. Hello, hello. Oh, I need to put music on. Okay. Wait. I think you all can hear me. Hi guys, if you're watching, I see a couple of you. Hello, hello, hello. Blaze is in here too, so I think I'm going to show you guys him in just a second. Hi, Sea Sounds. Hi, Nugget. Hello. Scott Michael. Hello. Maritime Historian. Hello to you. Hi guys, I'm happy to have you. Turn the sound down a little bit. Kevin, Chris Weather. Hi, hi, hi. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Thank you for joining the stream. It is a little bit of short notice. I only posted it like a day in advance. I typically like to give you guys a couple days and some options, but I think this is, I kind of just wanted to go ahead and do it. Anonymous donated $5. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. The first $5, hopefully of a lot. Peyton, hello. Twink, hi. Blaze was just in here. Do you guys want to see Blaze? Where's Blaze? Blaze. Unwarned tornado in upstate. Oh, hi Raymond, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. I hope you're doing well. I had no idea. I wasn't keeping up with the twisters that were happening in the Northeast last week, I guess. I was not super familiar with it. I'm trying to get Blaze. I can show you guys real quick. Oh, he's heavy. Say hi to our friends. Blaze says hello everybody, thank you and welcome. We are really excited about today's stream. I've got a couple things lined up for you guys. I'm just going to give it a few minutes to get a couple people in here and then we'll kind of start what I have planned. But for now you guys can look at Blaze. Say hi. Wait, 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 wait. I want to give him just a little treat for being a good boy. Okay. Oh, sorry. I missed some donations. Okay. Chris Weather, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Carly, miss you says hello. Miss you too. Nugget, thank you so much. April Richards, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your generous donation. I really appreciate it. Yeah. How did you guys feel about the Rochelle video? How did you guys like it? Did you have any comments? It was an interesting one, and honestly, like, I think most of us had already seen a lot of the footage from the Rochelle tornado because it was just so incredible and so powerful, and there was a lot of controversy around the rating, but I had no idea about the funding, and I feel like I had never heard anybody talk about the lack of funding for Fairdale until, like, I found a couple articles, and it was kind of mind-boggling, honestly. John Hayden, thank you so much for your donation. Appreciate you. Hey, nobody has to donate, by the way. It's not an expectation. It's not anything like that. There's no obligation. My main goal today is to really raise awareness about a lot of these organizations because there's some great ones. I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute. We're going to go over some of the organizations and then we're going to watch some Cantori clips and then we're going to pick whichever you guys want. We're going to pick one of 2 documentaries to watch together. We'll just kind of chat and have a good time. Yeah, the footage, and you know what, Chris, the footage about Fairdale, I had tried to license a couple different videos. Unfortunately, I just wasn't able to kind of get a hold of the people that I really wanted the footage from, so I didn't get to use it. But if you guys still want to see really good footage of the Fairdale tornado, there's like a ton out there. It was such a well-documented storm. The footage I had was just like, it was good, but I mean, there's like way better footage out there from chasers, so. Scott, you were still living in Illinois during the tornado? That is wild. Were you in northern Illinois? I mean, either way, to have a major event like that happen in your state is kind of wild. Carly, do you have PayPal set up for donations? I think I do. I might not have it here. I can get that fixed in the near future, but I mean, again, no one's obligated to donate, but I appreciate it. Hello, Carly from Phoenix, Arizona, where we made it through another busy monsoon season. I've never, you know what's interesting? I'm glad you made it through monsoon season. I see a lot about it on Twitter from Dr. Reed Timmer, of course, and then from Jim Tong, who also, I believe, really is interested in monsoon season. But it's such a foreign concept to me as someone who's always lived in the Southeast, but I'm sure it'd be really fascinating to kind of witness it in person. Kevin C with the $20. Thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your generosity. Perfect spare 300. Tornadoes are scary but very fascinating. Yeah, I'm terrified of tornadoes. You won't catch me storm chasing anytime in the near future, but they certainly are fascinating. Okay, so now that we've got a couple people here, I'm going to change this soundtrack to something more calm. Now that we've got a couple people here, what I want to do is kind of go ahead and get started on what I have planned. So let me make my big head a little bit smaller here. Like that? That's still kind of big, huh? Let me change the camera too a little bit. Wait. Is that good enough? That looks pretty good. Okay. So I want to favorite underrated tornado. Ooh, what a question. Do you mean underrated as in literally like not rated enough, or like just generally like a general concept underrated tornado? I always want to say Gerald, but like Gerald wasn't underrated. I mean, it was an F5 and it was a huge deal. That's a tough one. I can't even, I don't know. I can't think of one. Like I'm kind of stuck. That's incredible though. That's a good question. I'll have to think about that more. Maybe I'll make a video on the most underrated tornadoes. Anonymous, $200. Thank you so much. Holy cow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. What a huge drop. Thank you. Appreciate that so much. I wasn't really sure what to put the goal as, so we're just going to play it by ear as we move along. So I've set it at 400, I think. If we need to raise that, that'd be great, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. But again, there's no expectation to donate, everybody. I just want to get these shelters kind of out there and exposed. North Texas Skies donated $10. Thank you so much. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Cordova tornadoes. That's actually, Raymond, that's a really good answer to that. Amy Davis. If you guys don't know, Amy is like the lead mod for Ryan Hall. So Amy is an OG. Amy has always been such a wonderfully sweet person to chat with and work with, and I really appreciate Amy, just so she knows. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, it might be a little tricky with putting your name on it, but Amy, thank you for your donation. We really appreciate it. Okay, let me go over some of the shelters really quick because I just want to be transparent in all of these organizations, and some of them are really awesome. So I want to talk about them for a second. The organization that we are working with specifically for this stream today is called Animal League America, and they are based in the Northeast, but they are the world's largest no-kill animal rescue and adoption organization. So this is like a long-standing foundation that is on like a list with YouTube that is like a great organization to work with. So that's kind of why I picked them. But they do really incredible work. So that's who we're partnering with today. But there's also a lot of other good ones that I compiled in a list on Twitter. If you guys didn't see, I made a thread about different ways that you can help animals impacted after Hurricane Ian. Now, there are a couple of these groups and organizations, most of them are nonprofits, that are in Florida right now. So I'm just going to quickly highlight two of those because I understand that not everybody maybe wants to donate to one specific organization. That's totally fine. But I do want to just kind of highlight these ones here that are kind of in Florida right now. Jessica for $50. Thank you so much, Jessica. Wow, holy cow. Thank you, thank you. What an incredible donation. Thank you. That is very kind. Thank you, thank you. Do I have a Facebook group for your animal? No, it's not my animal rescue, for transparency. This is just me kind of coordinating with YouTube allows you to hold a fundraiser, and that's kind of what we're doing here. So I don't personally have any kind of special group or anything for fundraising. This is just something I've decided to do after Hurricane Ian, so just for that. But okay, moving on. The second organization that I really want to highlight is called American Humane. They are in Florida right now, as I mentioned, working with a rescue team called Code 3 Associates. So they're actively performing rescues in Florida right now. They also work to feed and give shelter to animals that are displaced. So they are another really great organization to consider as well. Really like the work that they do. And along with that, we'll also check out Code 3. Now, what's really cool about Code 3 Associates is that they are like specialized in animal rescues, water rescues, just any kind of animal rescue, they specialize in it. So this is another great nonprofit to consider. And they also have this massive truck called BART, boys, that they take down wherever they're performing rescues, that basically just holds a shit ton of stuff, supplies, and it can accommodate a bunch of animals as well. So really cool. It's called the BART. It's a massive, massive truck. Blaze wants to be friendly today. Anonymous donated 10. Thank you so much, friend, for your donation. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Eric. Good to see you here. Eric is always in my videos, like one of the first people to comment. I really appreciate you. You've been here since like the beginning. Scott was in Northern Illinois during Fairdale. Were you also in Illinois during Plainfield? Either one. That's, wow. Guys, I think we're going to have to raise the donation goal, which is a great problem to have. Let me wait a few more minutes, but I might bump it up, which is, I didn't expect. Thank you guys so much. So kind of you. We're going to start watching some other content in a few minutes, but if you just joined right now, I'm kind of going over some of the organizations that I've picked, both the one that we're fundraising for now and a couple other ones that are actively in Florida. So again, this one's called Code 3 Associates. They're in Florida right now performing rescue operations. Sorry, bumped you guys. So good stuff. Another good one is called Big Dog Ranch Rescue. I've put all of these, there's 5, I believe. I've put all of these in a Twitter thread that's linked in the description. So if you want to learn more about any of these shelters, and I have selected all of them because I read a lot into them and I believe they're kind of the best options. It's all linked in the description. So this Twitter thread with all of the groups, organizations are in here. Undoubtedly there are many more as well, but these are just the ones that I found that are actively in Florida. So with that, we've got a couple things on the agenda today. Let me read through some of these comments. Hi, Blaze. Blaze says hello to you guys as well. What's funny is that Blaze has been sleeping literally all day until just 5 minutes before I started this stream. He got up and was like, hey, what's up? And decided to come out. So it's almost like he wants to see you guys. Was it just me or did the New Orleans tornado hit early? Actually, that's a good thought, Raymond. Perhaps. Yeah, thanks to you, North Texas. Thank you for your generosity. We might have to bump up the goal. Okay, so what we're gonna do today. So I I have compiled a list of my favorite, a video rather, of my favorite Jim Cantore moments. And the significance of this is that I love Jim Cantore. I'm sure many of you also love Jim Cantore. He's an OG. He's really just a staple in the weather community. You don't even have to be in the weather community and you probably know who Jim Cantore is. Jay-Z, thank you so much for the 20. Really appreciate it. Thank you. This is very generous of you. Emma Reynolds, thank you so much for the 10. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys. This is happening faster than I thought it would. I might have to bump it up. Yeah, so anyways, I love Jim Cantore. I'm obsessed with him. I've loved him since I was a child. And by that, I mean he was my first crush. It doesn't get much better than Jim Cantore in my opinion. So because he was sort of a hot topic this week with Hurricane Ian, I thought we could kind of watch a couple Jim Cantore moments together. And I also would love to know y'all's opinion on Jim Cantore always being in the hurricanes. Because on Twitter, I noticed a lot of people being pretty split on how they feel about Jim Cantore being hit by a massive branch in Hurricane Ian. Some people think he's the GOAT for it. Some people think that it's really dangerous. So I'm pretty curious to know what you guys think about it. I am pretty torn on it myself. Eric, in nature's arsenal, I've heard tornadoes described as nature's precision weapons and hurricanes as Actually, that's a pretty good description, honestly. Josh, have you heard of the Henryville, Indiana tornado? No, but yes, I have, but I'm not familiar with it. Let me write it down though, because I know I have heard of that. And I feel like it needs to be looked at. You guys wouldn't believe the kind of notes I have going on in my office that are just like random town names. It's like Henryville, F5. France, 1700 tornado. Okay. I'll look that up. I wrote it down so I can't forget it. How old are you? I just turned 27. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Emma Reynolds, just want to say massive thank you for your videos. I love them. They filled a hole in my tornado documentary life. Thank you so much, Emma. That's very sweet. And thank you again for your contribution. I make videos that I personally would want to watch as well. And I think that there's a lot of truth in what you said, because I really feel that there's a lot of people out there who miss stuff like storm stories, because I do. There's a lot of people who grew up or just spend a lot of time watching things like storm stories, and so to have kind of weather documentaries, I think is kind of filling a gap for some people that miss that old content. Okay, looks good. Okay, you're right, Amy. I gotta bump it up. Mark donated 5. Thank you, Mark, so much. Thank you. Blonde Avenger donated 10. Thank you guys. Wow, I'm like blown away right now. Thank you guys. I'm actually going to adjust the limit because you guys are kind of blowing my socks off right now. And then we're going to watch Jim Cantori videos. Henryville was a bad one. Okay, I'm going to have to look at it soon. Anonymous donated 20. Thank you, Anonymous. Amy, I value your opinion, so let me read this. I used to love Jim Cantori, but I think he's taking unnecessary risks for good footage. This creates a sort of adversary risking one's life for good video. Actually, that's a great point, and I do tend to agree with that. It's hard because a lot of people like you and like myself have always really idolized Jim Cantori as just being like one of the first people to really like make weather and tornadoes like something that people are interested in and like a cool thing to enjoy. And so to have him be such a staple in the community and then to kind of come to terms with the fact that maybe he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing or promoting kind of sucks. But yeah, I agree. I tend to agree. I think that there's a purpose in them going out there and being in the hurricane, but there's definitely a line where it's not educational anymore. It's not promoting good things anymore. There's a line that definitely gets crossed when it becomes dangerous. And like you said, Amy, it's sort of trying to promote things when for good TV or, you know, for clicks and stuff, and it's not the way to do it. You've become my favorite tornado documentary content. Thank you so much, Kevin. That's a big compliment. I really appreciate that. All right. First of all, let's raise the limit, and then let's watch Jim Cantori clips. Dun, dun, dun. You guys are blowing me away. We're going to have to change the goal here. I'm also going to be contributing as well, so I think this is going to be a really nice... I don't know if it changed or not. I think I changed it. Did it change? Save. I don't know if it changed for you guys. Anonymous donated $7. Thank you. So many anonymous ones. Thank you so much. Travel, you think he's clout chasing? How do you guys feel about it? Do you guys think Jim Cantori's clout chasing? Or do we think it's of Jim's own volition, or do we think that the Weather Channel eggs him on? I'm curious to know what you guys think. I don't know. I'm just asking because, like I said, I'm pretty torn. Like, I love Jim Cantori, but I can also see why it's problematic for him to be out there during things like Hurricane Ian. Hey, Carly, I want you to know that I wasn't born until 12 years after. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I think going through one of those events is enough for one lifetime, though, you know? You and Alfuria make the best storm documentary. Alfuria is the bomb. It is up to 500. Thank you guys for letting me know. It's still showing 400 on mine, but I'm sure I have to change that. All right, let's watch. I'll shut up. Let's watch.
Matter of fact, let's get through our
is that too loud?
Videos right now, and you're going to be in for a treat with this one.
Because we dug through our archives and found some of Jim Cantori's greatest moments, we think, from the last 25 years. Enjoy.
Okay.
There we go.
Where did you...
Voiceovers. Take 8. Coming up in 3, 2. In
Look
fact,
at
medical
him,
research has proven that regular exercise can actually improve your cardiovascular health. Although it's important to set
Move my
aside
big head out
time
of
in
the
your
way.
daily schedule
Look
to
at you.
exercise, it's even more important to pick the right activity.
So if this
Look at
weather
that
thing doesn't
hair.
work out for me, how do I get started in it? I learn to play the card, don't I?
Well, I have franchise agreements. $500 a month, you too can be a naked cowboy.
And we are
Jim
at the height of
Cantori's
this
a naked
storm right now
cowboy.
as it continues to come in. We just decided to take a little walk around the side of the building, and you can see how the wind is accelerated big time here. We're easily...
Okay, so great, but imagine, you know, there's a lot of people now that I see wearing helmets for hurricane coverage and eye goggles. And to me, it is really interesting that maybe outside of one or two videos, like 90% of the time, I've never seen people on the Weather Channel wearing any kind of protective gear on their head. And I mean, we're talking about being in an open space where basically projectiles can launch at you. I mean, good Lord, what if like a stop sign, gets ripped up and hurls at you, or like even the smaller piece of metal, It's just really odd to think that they wouldn't do anything to protect their head. Tim Ada donated $100. Thank you so much, Tim. Holy cow, you guys are literally blowing my socks off. What? We've reached past what I initially wanted to. What? You guys, seriously, thank you. Thank you, Tim. Wow. Okay, we have to change it again. Thank you guys. I'm like amazed right now. Holy cow. This is incredible. I wasn't sure like how to, I didn't know how many people were going to show up. Thank you guys. I am so honored. How cool is it to have a community that actually shows up and like helps out? It's really touching. Okay. We have changed the goal. Okay. Emma, if I can make a tornado documentary suggestion, I'd love you to do one of the Birmingham, UK. Let me write it down. I have a handy dandy pen. Birmingham, 2005. I am definitely going to make a European tornadoes part 2 because I barely talked about the UK, and I knew that there was some really good ones. I just never talked about them. So should probably set the goal at 1,000, perhaps. Mayfield tornado, it's coming. I just still feel weird about doing it. I don't know.
Gusting 70 miles an hour with this wind. I can hardly stand up.
No matter what, though, I do still love Jim.
Watch it. All right, even in here, okay.
Yeah,
All
he's
right.
lucky that wasn't a piece of metal.
Even in here, in this concrete building, stuff like this coming in can do some damage. Well, I heard it was a bus now, plus cars are
With a cap on.
Listen to that! Son of a... That's unbelievable!
Yep.
You still managed to keep that one.
You kept it clean.
They keep it clean, absolutely. Where did they get that?
I gotta
Let's
ask you
replay
about
that
the old,
Rocky picture.
Yeah, the
And you
number
were
5.
called Rocky.
I was called Rocky. That
in
was my
college.
nickname. That was the hair days. Even Forbes says, let's get the Rocky music going in the background here. So yeah, that's unbelievable.
Bring back to,
What were you doing here? Do you remember that?
I have to say it. Jim Cantori has always been
I
a
don't
piece of
remember
man
this.
candy.
I was practicing voice work for something, and then obviously after a workout or something. I don't even know. Where did they get that? I could have come from college. I don't even know.
You were in that
Jim,
snowstorm
can you remember your first day
in
at
Chicago?
the Weather Channel?
Man,
What
I
that
would
was
love
like?
to experience something like that for one
Oh
time.
gosh, I don't even. I mean, this.
When Ginny donated $100. Okay, wait, I missed a few. Downskated, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you, friend. I really appreciate that. When Ginny donated 100, thank you. You guys are blowing my socks off. Okay, maybe. Oh, you can still raise after your goal. Okay, I was nervous that once you hit the goal, you can't raise it anymore. Holy cow, guys! You're blowing my socks off. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I wasn't even sure we would hit the first goal. We're like $200 past this one. You guys are gonna make me like emotional. Okay, let's go for it. Okay. Raise it to 1,000. I'm nervous to do that. Word. Okay, let's keep watching.
Small
Jim.
building. I mean, this room was all the Weather
You
Channel.
guys are the bomb.
Now it's many levels and many floors.
You were drawing cold fronts.
Yeah, we were drawing cold frame. We had to load
Right.
in this little Quantel box, as we call it, all of our frames. And so then we would go out and recall these frames with one button, push of the button. And that's it. Occasional satellite picture here and there. Not many loops. They had to dial in radars. So it was old times.
We watched the top 5. That was compiled by our producers. Anything on there, any moments, fun moments that stick out in your mind that we didn't have here?
Fun moments?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they have video.
They haven't let this man have a day of fun in his like 30-year career. He's like, fun? What? What?
For that. I hope they don't have video for that. You know, it gets wild out there.
He said they don't let me
Some of the
have
stuff
fun.
that, you know, that are between shots, a lot of times people don't get to see. And sometimes they'll do the funner shots or even...
Hold on. I saw a video of him throwing down a sledgehammer. I want to watch that. Oh, hopefully my voice doesn't go out. Jim Cantori moments. No, where's the sledgehammer one? Oh, it's this one. Okay. We're going to watch this one, and then we're going to do a poll on if we want to watch a hurricane documentary or a tornado documentary, because I found two that look interesting, but I want to watch what you guys want to watch, okay? You guys have... I'm always, like, mind-boggled by how many, like, events you guys have been through. Every single video I post, I have at least 10 people being like, I was 0.2 miles away from that EF5. I was like, what? That is so wild. Carly, give yourself credit because you're the bomb doing something very well. Thank you, Tim. You guys are going to make me cry. Tyler, thank you for the $20. Thank you, guys. I'm going to have to do something to celebrate when we get towards the end of the stream. All right, let's watch more Jim Cantori moments because I love him. Oh, now we're going to have to watch that again. There was no sound. Watch him. This guy runs up and he just knees him like, like it was nothing. Oh, downskated. I'm picking up a full truckload of building supplies here tomorrow to deliver it down in the disaster area floor. Talk about doing something incredible. Holy cow. Well, I wish you safe travels, and that is incredible of you. I hope it goes smoothly. I've heard there's like pretty bad traffic and stuff, but I mean, they obviously really need as much help as they can get. So that's really kind of you to do. Looking forward to your latest video. Well, thank you. I'm working hard to start trying to do once a week. I just, the past couple months have been a little intense for me.
Not gotten into the worst part of this storm yet. That is to come a little bit later on tonight. So
he knew that kid in the
obviously
crotch,
here at the College of Charleston, they're already having a good time.
I'll never forget.
And
during
they don't let
Isaac,
this man have fun.
Jim Cantori and I literally hanging on to each other. It was where the bromance began.
Oh, yes! 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 We got it, baby! We got it! We got it! Woo!
Anonymous donated $20. Thank you. Thank you so much. You need to put your name on it. I could shout you out. Thank you. Only have to drive 1,800 miles to do it. I hope you have some good road trip snacks, friend. That's incredible of you. Just remember, whatever the goal you do or don't make, you're donating a lot of money to go. Yeah, exactly. I mean, already having $600+ to this cause is like, I'm blown away. You guys are so incredible. Tri-state tornado. Let me tell you guys about the tri-state tornado video. So before the Rochelle video, I attempted to make a video on the tri-state tornado. Let me tell you guys, I spent like 3 weeks on it. I poured every ounce of energy I had into the tri-state tornado because I knew that it was a big one, right? In my mind, I was like, all right, this is a big one. This is a really historic event and I need to do it right. And I put so much time into it, right? And it was emotional. Like, it was really heavy because frankly, the amount of children that died in the tri-state tornado was really emotional. It made me cry a lot. And then I got to the editing process and I started editing the video and I kept thinking like, it's not really coming together, but let me just keep on. And I spent another week or so editing and trying to force it to work. And I just came to the realization that it was not what I wanted it to be. And so I scrapped it. And I feel good about that. I feel good about that decision because I still have the script for it, and I'm going to revisit it. So half of the work is already kind of done for it. It's just that I need to refilm it and kind of re-edit it. So it will be coming. I've already worked on it, but I never want to put out a video that I'm not proud of, and every video I've put out thus far has been something that I am truly proud of. But if I'm not proud of it 110%, I'm not putting it out, and that's how I felt about the Tri-State video. So I'll make one again in the near future. Void Punk, thank you so much for the $5, friend. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Video suggestion 1975 Omaha. Let me write that down. I've heard that suggestion a lot. And I know I need to do that one. Also, I really love doing retro events. Egan or Egan, I'm so sorry for the mispronunciation. Young donated 20. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. John, love your videos. Thank you, John. I really appreciate you. Carly, would you ever venture into other natural disaster documentaries? Yes, I will be doing hurricane coverage soon. Sooner than you think. I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right, because tornadoes are one thing. Hurricanes are on such a large scale that it becomes, in my mind, I feel like it's going to be a lot of information, and I just want to make sure I do it right. So I will be doing a hurricane. Oh, by retro event, I just mean that, like an older, I really like watching the news coverage from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And in my mind, I call those retro events. So Anonymous for the $20. Thank you so much. You guys are really blowing my socks off. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. The stream title reminded me of the famous Cooper Hawk Harvey girl in the taxi cab from Hurricane Harvey. The driver was a rare sight, but actually, yeah. Gosh, I've got a documentary. We're going to choose one of two to watch. One's a hurricane documentary. One's a tornado documentary. That's going to be the main thing we're doing today. Started composing a music piece when I was a sophomore in high school and still haven't finished editing it. You know, it's crazy. I think it's probably going to happen like in the middle of the night in like a year or two, and it's going to come to you all at once, and then you're going to finish it. That's how it tends to happen. Niles Wheatland EF5. Let me write it down. Windsor, Colorado. Writing it down. Ian Murray donated 5. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you kindly. Let's watch Jim.
This is killing me. For whatever it's worth, I hope I'm making Tebow proud.
This is the stuff we like to see. Jim in the snow. I feel like this is his natural
Anybody know where the rink is around here? The TD Bank. There we go. See, we helped this guy out. Watch it.
All right, even in here in Yellowstone National Park.
Wow, get a look at young Jim. It's so interesting.
Three! You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! You ready?
Not the sledgehammer video. I wanted to see the sledgehammer one. Oh well, that's fine. Do I think there'll be another high risk day? Ooh, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I wouldn't think so, but I mean, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Thank you, Amy, for letting people know. Yeah, if you guys want to help, you can like the stream. It promotes it in the algorithm. That's your prerogative. You don't have to, but it does help. Just so we know. Yeah, Jim is his most fun in snowstorms. Absolutely. Maybe you could do a video on some of the most photogenic tornadoes. Yeah, for sure. We can do, I could do something like that. Will, thank you for the $50. Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I had a little widget on here that was supposed to like go off when you guys donated, but it's not. And it had a little cow and it bounced up like this and it like jiggled, but it's not showing up, which is a little disappointing, but all right. So we're going to do a poll now. We're moving on to watch the main thing today, which is going to be to watch. Oh, Blaze. He really wants to say hello. We're going to watch a documentary, but the question is, would you guys want to watch a tornado or a hurricane documentary? So I'm going to do a poll here in just a second, but here's Blaze first. There you go. Oh, he doesn't like candles. I have a candle over here. All right, let me create a poll. What do you want to watch? I know that's loud because I have a mechanical keyboard. I'm sorry. Or am I sorry? All right. Missed you in Ryan's coverage. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. What's my favorite Dixie Alley tornado? Ooh. Or Tornado Alley meteorologist? It's James Spann for sure. I know that's a very stereotypical answer. Oh, you guys want to watch the tornado doc? Okay. It's a very stereotypical answer for me to say James Spann, but I mean, I've watched the 2011 coverage like many times over, and I really love James Spann. I think he's contributed so much to the community, and it's just really unmatched. I can't think of anyone who even comes close, to be honest, than James Spann. And in terms of tornado, Phil Campbell really sticks out to me. I would probably say Phil Campbell. Okay, you guys want to see that tornado documentary. This one is called The Deadliest Tornadoes of All Time, Mega Disaster, and it's from a YouTube channel called Earth Stories. They coincidentally are also doing a fundraiser on their video. So there's that piece of information. Oh, you started composing another music piece? Well, I can't relate. I don't have a bone, a shred of musical talent in my body. I said, have you ever had storm chasers in your regional area before? I've had reed timber within 5 miles of me. I am extremely fortunate as someone who is terrified of tornadoes and who also lives in the southeast, that the area in which I live tends to be cooled off by the Alps, the Southern Alps. And while there are still tornado threats, I'm never like usually right in the bullseye, thankfully. So I've never really had chasers like right in my area, close but not too close, which is just how I like it. Can we get some covers on the worst impacted derechos? I can make a derecho video. Let me write that down. This pad of paper is going to be looking goofy by the end of the night. I am so mother. Was that a mommy comment? Cindy with the $30. Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you. You guys are really absolutely blowing it out of the water. I am like amazed right now. I guess I am gonna have to set it to 1,000. You guys called it. Thank you guys. Wow. Holy cow. $1,000. That's so much. And like, think about how much $1,000 does for helping animals too. Like, that's a lot. You guys are really incredible. Thank you. Have I ever gone over the Palm Sunday outbreak? No, but I will. I've talked about the twins in passing, but never like a full event. I'm sorry. If you guys have a cat, you know that sometimes you get little hairs on your face. And that's why I'm like, I keep touching my face because Blaze gets these little hairs on me and they itch. Do I live in New Zealand? No, I live in southern USA. In the southeast. All right, pull over. We're watching a tornado documentary. This is called Deadliest Tornadoes.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, this is going to be a good one, I think. Wow. You know this is going to be a good one. All right, here we go.
What a tornado.
Tornadoes are unpredictable,
Back the up.
volatile.
If it's too loud or too soft, please let me know. I will be happy to adjust the volume for you guys. You have 3 cats, Cindy, you know. It's like always in this area too, like the itchiest part, and I'm like sitting here like trying to get it off. Oh, Southern Alps are mountains on the southern island of New Zealand. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I live in the southeast. We also have Appalachian Mountains over here. I'm sorry. That was confusing. My sister's moving to New Zealand in a couple months now. I'm pretty upset that she's leaving us, but I'm really excited to visit New Zealand though, so.
Country looked like it was in a nuclear blast of some type.
And lethal.
I kept talking to myself thinking, well, this is it.
They leave behind obliterated towns.
I'm sorry, Brian, you said you have 22 cats? I strive to be you.
There were no houses left. They were all gone.
And bewildered scientists.
It's not an exact science.
Each tornado is unique, most dangerous, a few deadly. From the tremendous to the terrifying to the tragic.
Wow.
This is a countdown to a mega tornado, one that experts believe will devastate a major American city.
Really? Okay. You're losing me a little, but I'm gonna keep watching. Is the sound okay for you guys? I hope it is. Mega tornado. I'm sorry, it was not Deadliest Tornadoes. It's called Mega Tornado Disaster.
The most ominous tornado warning comes when an apocalyptic-like darkness fills the sky. These clouds are precursors to a powerful storm, a supercell. Most tornadoes form when a violently rotating column of air stretches down from that supercell to touch the Earth. In general, the faster the wind speeds, the more dangerous the tornado.
Naturally.
Surprisingly, relatively little is known about these giant killers. Wow. Scientists are literally chasing the mysteries of tornadoes across the Great Plains of the United States, better known as Tornado Alley.
God. Why do I feel like I've never seen any of this footage before? Like this is, I can't name a single one of these events. And I feel really ignorant.
More than 400 tornadoes.
You know what the mega tornado is? Oh, okay. Maybe some of you guys have seen this. Dean, thank you for the 20. Thank you so much. Thank you, friend. I really appreciate that. I'm amazed by how much we're raising, guys.
Tornadoes threaten to wreak a path of destruction here every year. Far more than any other place in the world. The main reason? Ideal atmospheric conditions.
The mountains to the west, the Gulf of Mexico to the south,
I like
and
this
the fact
guy,
that there
Charles.
are no physical barriers between here and the North Pole means that we are frequently changing air masses from warm to cold and back again.
Tornadoes are measured using the F scale, F for Dr. Theodore Fujita, who classified tornado strength by estimating wind speed based on devastation. The smallest twisters are F0s. They can reach 116 kilometers per hour, about the equivalent of a small hurricane. At the other end of the scale are F5s, whose winds reach speeds of up to 512 kilometers per hour.
Now that's a reed timmer for
The
sure.
tornadoes profiled here rise up the Fujita scale from an F2 that rips the roof off a house.
Did you see that?
To an F5 that lays waste to an entire neighborhood. It's all leading up to a mega
The mega tornado.
One that some scientists fear will ravage a primary
Not the florist.
city.
Okay.
"111 kilometers southwest of Wichita lies the small town of Attica, Kansas. Just over 600 people live here. It's a town you could easily miss.
Oh, okay, so you guys are okay. I see.
On May 12, 2004, a tornado didn't. On that day, the blue skies over Harper County fill with storm clouds. Shortly after 6 p.m., Dan Smithheisler heads into Attica.
I did some work for the banker in there. And I told his wife, I said, you know, it's going to storm today.
Several thunderstorms form over southern Kansas. One look at these storms tells 30-year veteran meteorologist Chuck Doswell they might be a breeding ground for tornadoes.
Chuck Doswell's
One of the
an OG.
important ingredients that produces a tornado that we're pretty sure is the wind at low levels has to change direction and speed rapidly with height. We call that vertical wind shear.
The vertical wind shear typically spins the air into an invisible cylinder. As the wind speed increases and rises, the tornado intensifies and the core pressure drops. Condensation from the dropping pressure builds down the funnel, creating a visible tornado.
Please.
That's exactly what's happening in the southern Kansas sky.
God, I gotta read this comment. Gotta love the deadpan, monotone, inflectionless script reading of the narrative. Probably because they're British. That's why. And it's also like, that's a dead-on description of like, I love you British people, but that's y'all.
Harper County Emergency Management Director Mike Lorig gets the first tornado warning at 6:45.
And when they start giving us those warnings, we listen and we say, hey, we need to start warning our public from there. We do not know if this is going to be an F-0 or it's going to turn into the monster.
In Kansas, meteorologists carefully follow the thunderstorm as it tracks towards Attica.
About 7:25 in the evening, a F2 tornado had made it to ground right up here just on this hill. The path of it was right across here.
Wow. As Lorig watches in astonishment, the tornado tears the roof off a home directly in front of him.
Oh, that's this clip.
Oh my God! The whole house came apart!
That's unreal.
This act of violence is just one of many. The angry skies over Kansas are far from finished.
We thought, okay, hopefully things are over. We got emergency crews set up for that. And then the storm just suddenly, it took a...
At least we're not watching scientifically inaccurate movie Twister. I would love to watch, you know, we should start a thing where we watch horrifically inaccurate videos and like of tornadoes, like where people are talking about stuff and it's like very obviously not true. I love that kind of stuff. Comfort, why did I say it like that? Comfort popcorn flick. Oh, okay. So these are some ones I feel like, yeah, maybe I've already seen some of this footage, but a lot of
life
it
on its own.
What?
Storm chasers.
I want you guys to know that there are very few details that I ever remember about any of the events that I cover. I remember like some, but if you ask me what day Gerald happened on, I'd be like, I don't know. If you ask me that same question the day after I published the video, I would tell you I don't know. If you ask me what day Rochelle happened, I don't know.
Tracking the Kansas supercell relay information to meteorologists using mobile Doppler radar. They report the tornado's wind speed.
Is that Pecos? Looks like a Pecos
location, and one other startling fact. The storm is producing multiple tornadoes.
Look at that.
Storm chaser Yvette Richardson seen a supercell create more than one tornado before.
It can be a very dangerous situation because often people will be looking at the main tornado and
she must have really been an OG if this was like back in the day and she was chasing, because already like women chasing is kind of a rarity.
And feeling that
That's
as long
cool.
as they're far enough away or they've taken cover that they should be completely safe.
Her team and others report seeing 16 tornadoes. They vary significantly in size and power. The biggest is an F4, roughly 160 kilometers per hour faster and with corresponding wind force about 3 times larger than an F2. The F4 heads straight for Dan and Donna Smithheisler's home.
I was listening to the radio and the TV, and they had it exactly pinpointed. They knew exactly where it was at.
Slammed.
Knowing a tornado's path gives potential victims an average of 12 minutes warning, enough time to save their lives. The Smith-Heislers get the warning, but Dan ignores it. Mesmerized by the golf ball-sized hail that often
Oh, that's a bad sign.
precedes a tornado. He refuses to join his wife down in the basement.
That scared me, and so I started screaming at him to get down, and the dog would not come down. He said, well, Sugar won't come. And she was going in the door, out the door, in the door. Dogs are smart. They know. So when I screamed at Sugar...
That's true. The dog, I've heard a lot of stories about dogs that are like, obviously they're pretty sensitive to pressure change. And so they're like, something's going on. I wonder if cats are that way too. I kind of feel like they would be, but it's hard to know for sure. Can't wait till you have a membership perk system. Shut up and take my money meme. I will have memberships. Maybe in the next month or so. Yeah, 815. I'm like blown away right now. I will do memberships at some point. I just want to make sure that they're worthwhile because I don't want to do memberships when I cannot commit to like a live stream a week just yet. Because I think if I do memberships, I'll do a live stream or 2 live streams a month or something where we can watch whatever you guys want. But yeah, I just want to make sure it's like beneficial for you guys before I offer that. And it's like a no obligation thing. But thank you though. I appreciate that comment. Johnny Doppler donated $25. Thank you so much, Johnny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. We are getting closer, guys. If we reach 1,000, like, I don't know what I'll do. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much. My cat definitely acted odd before the 2011 earthquake. Okay, so cats have that sort of intuition as well. I mean, yeah, that does make sense. Cats are quite sensitive. I wonder how cats would react to pressure change. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Blaze, for example, is such a scaredy cat. And I mean that, like, he does not like people. He will not, if we have guests in the home, he is hiding the entire time. He does not want other people to, like, see him. He's very scared. So I think he would definitely be hiding. Once a month would be good enough for me. Yeah, I think I'll do them in the next month. I believe. Just want to make sure that they're, like, good, good stuff. I'd like to go storm chasing at least once. I would have to be out of my mind to go storm chasing, I think. Out of my mind. In fact, I want you guys, all 100 of you here, to witness me say, if I ever get on here or on my Twitter and say that I'm about to go storm chasing, check up on me because something's not right. There's something wrong. Something's happening.
He came down.
We started hearing this popping noise.
Anonymous with a $20. Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. R.I.P. Miss Kitty. No, I'm so sad. Just stared at the window and meowed before an earthquake. Oh, cats are smart. Thank you for what you're doing for these animals. I feel like I'm not doing anything. You guys are doing everything, and I really appreciate it. I just want to help in any way that I can. I feel like pretty helpless in this situation. With so much going on down in Florida, that this is the least I can do. But you guys are really the ones who are helping, so thank you guys so much.
Well, we had a rack of canned goods
right
over there,
before.
and those cans were popping from the pressure change.
The cans are
It
popping?
sounded like popcorn going off over there.
The tornado batters Dan and Donna's home with winds estimated at more than 322 kilometers per hour.
He said 300.
And that's when I got hit on the head with cement or something, I can still hear myself groan. All of a sudden, you're just going to, like, go with it. And that's where I was when he said, we're not going to make it. And that woke me up. And I said, oh, yes, we are too,
Aww.
And you pray really hard.
The savage winds rip unrelentingly over the Smith.
They seem pretty optimistic. Gonna get going now, sis. Oh, well, thank you for joining. I don't know if you're one. Okay, I have 3 sisters, and I don't know if you are actually one of my sisters or if you're just calling me sis, but in either case, bye, sis. Ian with another 10. Thank you so much, Ian. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You're in Oklahoma for work. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you are enjoying Oklahoma. Shared this stream on 2 Facebook hurricane groups. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. My entire family lives down in Florida. Oh my gosh, I hope they're all okay, John. I cannot imagine. I mean, the entirety of Florida. That's just so heartbreaking for any part of Florida. Gotta go. Bye. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Was home. When they finally stop, the couple emerge from their basement and into a war zone.
Whoa.
And I thought, where's the car? And then my next thought was, where's the garage?
The twister destroyed the couple's 2-story home, 5 barns, dismantled 5 cars, and killed their dog, Sugar.
No, not the
terror
dog.
down there was the worst part. The terror.
The Smith-Heislers are lucky to be alive. With estimated wind speeds near 400 kilometers per
They're
hour,
both lucky to
the
be alive
F4
and
tornado
intact.
easily destroyed their home. But even the earlier F2, with winds estimated at 240 kilometers per hour, was capable of ripping the roof off this home. Complex physics transform air into a lethal force. A concept scientists are
You want to chase, but your partner's terrified for you. I would be too. I mean, my husband feels the same way, but I mean, he knows I would never do it. So, but yeah, I think it would make anyone really kind of worry who doesn't know too much about it. Yeah, not Sugar. R.I.P. Sugar. Flooding, but other than that, they're good. I mean, still, that's upsetting. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter kind of what end of the spectrum people are on with devastation, like whether it be their home might be mildly flooded or, like, you know, all the way to the point where someone's home's completely gone or they lost family members. It's all really hard to mentally process. So I think it's, you know, no matter the scale, like it's still difficult, you know. Huge question. Is it just mean, or has tornado season been tame post 2013 after the last EF5? It's an interesting, you know, since I've been kind of in the weather space, I've always noticed people talking about how quiet it's been relative to like 2011 to 2013 periods. Even like, 2008 to like 2013, it was really active. And then every year people are like, this is the year it's going to be crazy. And then it doesn't happen. So I don't know. It's an interesting question. I wouldn't be able to give you an actual answer. But it is interesting to think about. And it does make it like a little scary that like it's not been bad. So then in our minds, it's like, well, maybe next year it's going to be way worse. You know, there's always kind of that thought in the back of your mind. I hope not, because I'll be scared. I'll be in my house scared. Hunter Byers, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you guys. We're getting closer. Oh my gosh. Even what we have now is like really incredible, guys. Thank you so much. I can't say it enough. What are my thoughts on Craig Forbes, who studied with Dr. Ted Fujita? OG, cool guy. I don't know much about him personally. Not that I should, but I think he's done a lot of work for the community too. Also, I don't know of anyone else who is active that's really studied a lot or worked with Dr. Ted Fujita outside of Forbes. But even though like a lot of people don't like Weather Channel these days, it's undeniable that they have a lot of talent there, which is arguably the saddest part, is that they have a lot of talented people there that either aren't being used to their potential, or alternatively, like Jim Cantore, are being overused and kind of overdone and made out to be in hurricanes when it's extremely dangerous. 117 away. Do I have any idea why it was so active between those years? No, I don't. I don't know that there's like a scientific reason. I've not ever read anything about it. I mean, there certainly could be a climatologist that, you know, could give a reason for it, or a meteorologist. I just don't I've never read anything about it, so I wouldn't know. It's interesting to think about though, for sure. It's really interesting.
Laboring to understand.
What we are trying to do is simulate the tornado as best as we can. So we're actually comparing the wind which we generate here with the...
I think I've seen this part. I'm going to skip through it because I don't find it as fascinating. All right, Pampa, Texas.
Pampa, Texas has had its share of luck. The town has prospered since oil was discovered here in 1921. Today,
Wasn't it El Nino years? Yeah, I've heard, that's what I hear a lot is about La Nina and people talking about La Nina. I don't know enough about it. I mean, I'm not a scientist. If I ever read anything, I'll certainly talk about it on the channel. I just have not read any like literature on it. Having tornadoes in December was frightening for sure. Mike Morgan, is Mike Morgan polarized by the weather community because of his past tornado coverage by pre-rating or by telling people to go out of their way or go to an overpass? I think Mike Morgan gets unnecessary hate. Maybe this is a hot take, but I love Mike Morgan. And you know what I also love about Mike Morgan? He's obsessed with his wife. He loves his wife. Pampa's only known for nuclear weapons plant now. Interesting. About to find out.
17,000 residents work the hard soil, farming, ranching, and refining oil. But the town's location in the Texas Panhandle is also its biggest flaw. This is tornado country.
Oh, that is a tomato.
On the afternoon of June 8, 1995, Pampa's luck ran out. Randy Stubblefield is a lifelong resident of Pampa.
Yeehaw.
In his 2 years as sheriff, he's seen his share of violence. But nothing compares to what he's about to confront.
About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we received a call that there was a large tornado was building on the south side of the Amarillo Highway, just about 1.5 miles from where we're standing now.
Stubblefield grabs his camcorder and
Good
rushes
morning,
towards
Australia.
Good
morning, Nathan.
Farmland on the north side of the railroad tracks, and it just started building, getting bigger and bigger.
They have something to do with the P&O. I've heard like Reed Timmer talking about it amongst others, but I don't know.
Meteorologist Chuck Doswell is also chasing and filming the Pampa tornado.
The evolution of the Pampa tornado with respect to the parent thunderstorm was very unusual in my experience. I've never seen anything quite like it.
What Doswell sees is remarkable. The tornado...
That is an incredible image. I like this image because I don't know. I can't even explain it. Like, why? That is so fascinating.
...is almost standing still.
Impossible to tell what's going on in there.
Then, suddenly, the tornado makes a sharp right turn. This odd behavior stuns Doswell.
Tornadoes move in a particular direction because they're tied to the storm that's producing them. And the storm that's producing them moves in a particular direction because it's embedded in a wind field which is pushing it in that direction.
But the Pampa tornado isn't moving in the same direction as the storm. After a series of sharp turns, the twister loops almost 270 degrees around Doswell.
Wow.
These erratic and unpredictable movements make this a very dangerous tornado.
Let's go.
And I am completely mystified as to what was going on with that storm.
Then it started traveling north. Get everybody inside because this is one big son and hit a industrial complex.
This is one big song, bitch. That's so Texas, dude. That's so Texas. I may be a meteorology and weather geek, but this recent drought of EF5 related tornadoes has made me think it's something of higher power. Yeah, it's always, it's always interesting to think about. Always interesting to think about. I never, put anything out of question. I hope we don't. I hope it continues, of course, but it does leave you with a sort of eerie feeling like, what if we got like a bunch of EF5s in the next year? It kind of makes you wonder. And then there's a lot of people who would argue that Mayfield should have been rated an EF5 and that should have ended our tornado drought or our EF5 drought. But I don't know. Not really my place. JPG with the 20. Thank you so much. We're closing in, guys. We're getting closer, team. Thank you all so much. Every single one of you, not just to those who donated. Thank you all so much for donating, but thank you guys for just showing up and being here and letting me talk about these organizations and for just supporting it. And I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me that we can, do something impactful like this. So thank you. This is a very Texas moment. This is so Texas. Watching Carly and Reed Timmer cuts the crave for weather. You live in southern Ontario. Oh, so y'all get snow, but oh, you guys have your own unofficial tornado alley? I need to look more into Canadian tornadoes. I can't get over this guy's hat. I need one of these in my life.
Belinda Waldrop works in that complex with her father.
Why are they
She
gonna zoom in
isn't
on
listening to the news.
I learned that there was a tornado outside the building when my dad came to the door of the office I was in and said, Belinda, there's a tornado on the ground west of us. I'm curious. I said, can we look at it? And he said, oh, no, we don't need to look at it. We need to get under some cover.
Belinda and her father dive for shelter as the twister slams towards them.
You could hear the tornado approaching. It was like a gyrating woof woof. Just a
not gyrating. Oh, what a goofy word to use. No, I don't think another 2011 will happen for a long time. I mean, I hope to God not. I hope to God not. We need some Tennessee accent to counter the Texas accent. Don't make me use my Tennessee accent, y'all. I will. I'll bust it out. The Pampa F4 is kind of like the El Reno. Oh no. Oh no, I was reading that. I wrote it down though because I'm kind of baffled that I'm like not familiar with this at all. I feel like I've seen some of the footage, but I don't know. Also, sorry I keep pausing the video. I just have many things to say.
Turning that just got gradually more intense and louder. The lights began to flicker as the pressure was building, and then the lights went out.
Whenever you first started seeing the real debris, the metal, the rooftops and all that, that's when it hit the first series of steel buildings in the industrial complex.
And then an explosion. The vacuum just took me up off the floor and slammed me into numerous things and was pulling me backward like a rag doll.
You're going to see some vehicles going into the air. Transport trailers and truck combinations. Now these units weigh probably 22,000 pounds empty. These were sucked up and in the tornado and were going around and around.
The fact that he said tornado like that, tornado.
Stubblefield and Doswell are among the few to ever film a tornado snatching up 3-ton trucks. This is a massively powerful twister, one that has Belinda Waldrop trapped in its ferocious grip.
One of the most horrifying facts about tornadoes like that that I've ever heard. Anonymous donated 10. Thank you so much. Thank you. One of the most horrifying things that I've ever heard about experiencing what it's like to be in a tornado outside of being injured and stuff is that you can't breathe because it's just so much pressure and there's so much wind that you can't I've heard a woman describing it as sucking the air out of your lungs. You literally just can't breathe for a minute or however long it is, which is just such a weird thing to think about. Tennessee accents are very attractive accents. Someone needs to take you to rural Tennessee. I'm from really podunk, very stereotypical Tennessee. Yes, Scott. Vehicles. Not vehicle, vehicles.
I was in it, everything's dark, and I just tried to keep my eyes closed to protect my eyes. I kept talking to myself, thinking, well, this is it.
And at that time, I just had a feeling of helplessness because there's nothing you can do. I mean, there's no way you can stop it, or make it go another direction or anything like that. And it was just a sick feeling.
They had dropped me out here into the parking lot, and just dropped me on my back, and I could see the cloud and the tornado. It looked like a white ghost just going up and taking off.
Belinda's encounter with the tornado is over, but Randy's is just beginning.
Look at that thing.
When I realized that it was going to go into the city of Pampa,
Stubblefield jumps back into his car and races down the road, directly into the path of the tornado.
one of my deputies gets on the air and says, watch out, you're too close.
Be careful, you're almost there.
You know you're too close when debris starts coming in the car with you. I had my windows down, and the trash from the circulation was coming into the car with me.
It's going into the city at this time.
It was headed right straight for the sheriff's office in the downtown section. Well, I had, at that time, about 65 prisoners in jail. And, you know, we have a big, strong building, but this is a big, strong tornado.
The twister strikes Pampa, destroying or damaging two.
I've never seen a tornado with debris. I mean, I know that they have existed, but like in terms of footage, I've never seen like debris like that in footage. Maybe outside of Andover video from 1991, but this is, wow.
200 homes and 50 businesses. Most buildings in the industrial park are ripped off their foundations. Belinda is badly injured and in shock.
Of course, I was just stunned and numb. I really couldn't feel anything. I felt like my legs were probably broken. I couldn't get my bearings because there was no building. There were no landmarks that I recognized at all, and I was just taken back.
Fearing the worst, Belinda desperately searches for her father.
He was draped over a motor. He looked dead, honestly. He was limp, and he wasn't moving. I managed to scoot over close to him and started rubbing him. He woke up and turned his head, and there was blood, and you could just see this white eyeball. You could just terrified look, and I'll always remember that, just stark. And he immediately said, help me up. And I can't help you up. I can't get up either.
Oh my God, that was dark. That was really dark. I thought she was going to say his eyeball came out or something. I'll tell you guys, because I feel like I can't be the only one to know this, but let me tell you guys something dark. And if you don't want to hear something dark, I understand. But the next minute or so, I'm going to be talking about something really dark. Okay, so I told you guys earlier that like I had been in the process of making the video for the tri-state tornado. And, you know, and I talked about how kind of emotionally, like, I knew that it was going to be a heavy one, but like it was a lot heavier than I expected because I really read a lot of like the stories about what happened to people, especially kids. And that was really hard to read. And there were some really gruesome details in those stories. And, you know, that like I'm not going to repeat, but there was one that the guy ended up surviving, but like, and trigger warning, if anyone doesn't want to hear something graphic, just mute it for like a minute. This guy that was trying to run to shelter, and and the tornado kind of caught up with him, and it wasn't even in the tornado, but a piece of debris hit him in the back of the head so hard that his eyeballs popped out. And I mean, trying to think about how that logically works, I don't know, but I mean, that was like a horrible thing, you know. And he lived, but I mean, just like, oh, that's, you know, terrible. But yeah, that happened in the tri-state tornado. There was a lot of other really gruesome stuff too, but Andy. Nuh-uh. Andy. Thank you. Sorry it had to be right after I just told that terrible story. Thank you, Andy. We hit our goal. Thank you, God. We hit our goal. Thank you, Andy. Of course you would come through and save the day. That's very generous of you, Andy. Thank you so much. Guys, we raised $1,000. Everyone can unmute, by the way. I'm not talking about terrible stuff anymore. Aw, everyone, thank Andy. And thank you all so much for the donations. I'm not totally done with the stream yet, but thank you guys if you've contributed. Thank you, Andy. We love Andy on this channel. We stan. Set it to 1200. I mean, your wish is my command. Thank you guys. I cannot believe I set my original goal to 400 because I wasn't sure how many people were going to show up. It's kind of hard to gauge a fundraiser. I've never done one before, so I didn't know what to expect, but I am, this is beyond my wildest expectations. So I am just so thankful, you guys. I cannot believe, that I would be able to help in just any kind of way. So thank you guys. Meteorologist Andy Hill. I feel like I can't say his name without saying meteorologist Andy Hill. Vehicle, yeah. 1500. How long do you have today? I'm just chilling, so until you guys don't want me anymore, I'll hang out. Yeah, I raised it to 1200. It should have changed, hopefully. Hopefully it changed for you guys too. Yeah, the original goal was 400. So I am just tickled beyond belief. This is unreal. You guys are the bomb. Carly say swimming in the creek up the road from Knoxville. Like that? I'll give you guys a Tennessee accent if you want a Tennessee accent. I'll do whatever. We've raised $1,000. I'll do whatever y'all want. I do have some super loyal watchers. Thank you guys. I can't believe anyone would want to listen to me talk for this long. Your parents both experienced the tri-state tornado? My gosh. Yeah, the stories are incredibly dark. There are some... and when I made the video before, there were so many details that I had to omit. Just really dark stuff that... you read about the tri-state tornado and you know that it's bad, right? Like, you know that almost 1,000 fatalities, I think it was almost 1,000. There's many fatalities as there were. You know that it's bad, but until you read some of the stories, it's just, wow, unreal. How long until Andy Hill becomes the third Hall Y'all brother? I pooped in at the store. You popped. No, I did not just say that live. I'm composed. Larry, thank you so much for $50. Thank you, Larry. I'm crying. I'm composed. Let's try that again. I popped in at the start, but I've been listening to the boyfriend play piano, so I almost forgot to come back. That's okay. Let's just wipe away the tears. I'm composed, okay? Whew. All right. I already know y'all are gonna clip this, so thanks. I'm together. I'm together. Okay. Okay. Very professional.
Emergency workers rush Belinda and her dad to the hospital. Both are in serious condition. 5 other residents also suffer injuries. Miraculously, there are no deaths.
No deaths? Okay, I'm kind of surprised. That's incredible.
As the wounded begin their recuperation,
can you get out of here? Wow, what a rude thing to come in someone's stream and say.
To tumble a 2 or 3 ton pickup truck along the ground and then hoist it into the air. This takes incredible wind speed, probably in excess of 150 miles per hour.
Dave Llewellyn researches the strange and complex forces at work inside tornadoes.
In a tornado, the wind is not just swirling around. It's actually spiraling strongly inwards.
Llewellyn believes that once an object like a vehicle is airborne, it can be slammed to the ground by powerful center.
Beat String, Jeannie, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you, friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. You guys are incredible. Thank you. Stop selling yourself short. Your channel is right up there with Pecos Hank for me. I cannot believe some people would say that about me, Pecos Hank, but thank you. I do really appreciate when people say that. Thank you so much. Yeah, Andy, I hope you better have gotten a good laugh out of that, Andy. Thank you guys. I appreciate the kind comments. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good October so far.
Downdraft winds, then hurled back skywards by updraft winds. This brutal cycle renders the debris unrecognizable before it's finally spat out as a high-speed missile.
Amazing. That was 4,600 pounds according to the crane.
R.I.P.
Scott Schiff and his team at Clemson University are studying the damage a tornado-hurled car can do.
We're really testing this roof slab here, and this was designed to be a shelter. It's about 10 inches thick of solid concrete with a double mat of steel reinforcement, so it's heavily reinforced. It's really designed to be able to take large debris impacts.
3, 2, 1, drop!
After multiple impacts, the slab begins to crumble.
So after that last impact, we now have a permanent deformation in the slab. That rebar that's down under that bottom mat there started to yield under the load.
Andy will bonk y'all if you don't behave.
Concrete spalling down below
be on your best behavior.
To counter multiple impacts, Schiff is designing a steel mesh net to catch loose debris. If that works, it will be a huge step forward in tornado protection.
We have this
And you're going to be mod too.
tornado. What we're looking for is that we are safe during the event and right after the event.
Y'all don't have to mind if you don't feel like it, though.
Unpredictable movements and incredible power, no lives were taken. 608 kilometers away, another Texas town isn't so fortunate when a massive F5 twister turns tiny bits of dirt and wood into lethal weapons. And later,
Not
a
the
mega
CGI.
tornado, one that scientists believe could destroy a major American city.
I'm ready to see this part where they talk about a mega twister destroying a city. That's what I want to see. Let's look at that.
My home was swept away. Still, because no two twisters are ever the same, experts advise that the best option is an underground shelter or safe room built to specific codes. The Jarrell tornado changed the way experts watch for twisters. They now view storm systems with low vertical wind shear as possible violent tornado producers. But no amount of vigilance or insight could stop the deadliest tornado in US history from killing hundreds. And later, a mega tornado unseen in modern times threatens millions. The Jarrell twister killed 27 people while changing the way experts keep vigil for potential tornado-producing storms. But there was no way to prepare for the deadliest tornado in US history, a brutal...
Just a little tidbit for y'all. Andy and I often talk in each other's DMs, and Andy is just as hilarious as you would expect.
F5 that tore through 3 states, killing hundreds. On March 18, 1925, a single tornado slaughtered 695 people in Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. The behemoth F5 blasted a 322-kilometer path of unstoppable annihilation that lasted for hours. Survivor accounts are chilling.
I'll do a Sharknado stream if that's what y'all want to see.
Boards, poles,
whole sides of little framed houses. In some cases, the houses themselves were picked up, smashed to the earth, and living beings too. A baby was blown from its mother's arms. Children all around me were cut and bleeding. They cried and screamed. It was something awful.
The destruction was of mythic proportions, primarily because the killer struck an extremely vulnerable population.
People had very few ideas about how to deal with tornadoes. The country was largely rural instead of mostly metropolitan, and they had essentially no...
Am I allowed to stream Sharknado? I wouldn't know. I'd have to look into it. I mean, it'd just be a question of fair use or not, but... A wacky article. What's also really dark about the tri-state tornado as well is that I'm going to read this article in just a second. There, in Murfreesboro, after the tornado passed through, a coal burning stove caught on fire, and like a lot of people perished as they were sheltering when their homes burned down after. So not only did they just get hit by a tornado, a lot of people were then, sort of trapped under rubble, and then fire, blazed through like a good portion of Murfreesboro. So, I mean, it's just in every possible way, it was so tragic. That's one of those comments where you have to read the words. Y'all are goofy. Sometimes I read y'all's comments and I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna...
A way to communicate with each other.
The town of Murfreesboro, where more than 100 people were killed, actually was hit more than 2 hours after the first fatalities from the tornado. And people wondered why hadn't any word gotten downstream, down the telephone lines or telegraph lines, that something was coming.
In 1925, several million people lived in small rural towns throughout Tornado Alley. Today, tens of millions call it home. Modern communication means better warnings, but evacuating a major city before an F5
Gabriel,
strikes is still impossible. On May 3rd,
we're plugging Chaser Chat. Gabriel, everybody. Gabriel Harbor has an incredible podcast called Chaser Chat, where he's interviewed a ton of people, and I've also been on there as well. So go to Chaser Chat. It's an incredible podcast if you want to listen to really cool storm chasers, and we even had Liz Lightman on there, a really incredible meteorologist on there. So, I mean, good stuff. I happen to be on there too, just saying. Just saying.
1999, the people of Oklahoma City faced the worst F5 in modern history.
It's gotta be pretty big, right? Okay. Okay, let's go. I want to know if they're going to have any footage. I haven't seen this one.
The May 3rd, 1999 tornado that went through Moore in southern Oklahoma City was one of the most damaging in the history of the United States, no matter how we look at the data.
Late in the afternoon of May 3rd, 1999, weather forecasters in Oklahoma carefully track multiple supercell storms and then the tornado reports that begin flooding in. At home with her 8-year-old son, Dana Grimm watches the local news.
We had been watching the coverage for hours. He said it just kept building momentum, getting bigger and bigger, and if you were above ground, you weren't going to make it.
The storm system is intense.
Yeah, Mike Moore started the comments about if you're above ground, you're not going to make it, or like the kind of things where he would say, like, you have to get out of the way or you're not going to make it. And they've always been incredibly controversial. He did it again in Moore 2013, where he said, like, you get out of the way or you're not going to make it. And I'm pretty torn on it because I feel like in a lot of ways it's true, but you also can't tell people that and expect them not to panic. And then, like, where do they go? And then you have this problem now where people are like, I got to get out of here, but then they don't know like what to do. And then it's just this huge issue. What if there's traffic? What if they end up driving into the storm? There's a lot of problems with that. But I mean, at the same time, I don't hate him for making those remarks either.
Complicated.
Yeah, we have raised $1,000, which is unreal. Like, you guys are so incredible. I can't say thank you enough.
And growing. Weather trackers watch in awe and shock as multiple storms produce multiple tornadoes.
Large tornado, very large tornado.
It seemed like just about every thunderstorm cloud that formed eventually produced a tornado at some point.
And there were times when you had the main tornado happening.
I will,
and then
Ian. Thank you so
we had
much.
what we call satellite tornadoes that would rotate around it. And they're completely separate tornadoes within the same storm system.
Tomorrow on Chaser Chat, Gabriel's going to be releasing an interview with Shane Adams, who was there on May 3rd. Actually, that's really cool. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Tomorrow, you guys know where to go. Chaser Chat. Big drop. Yeah, Amy, thank you for that. That's a great point. Everyone, I haven't said this in a long time. There's no obligation to donate. More than anything, I really just want to get these organizations out there, to have them to be seen and heard. I posted a thread on Twitter as well of 5 different organizations that I picked that I felt like were really good groups to donate to, or at least to share, or just kind of get the word out. So even just kind of being here I really appreciate it. There's no expectation to donate or anything like that. I just appreciate all of you being here, and I really appreciate it. Gotta love how dramatic TV shows try to explain tornadoes to the average viewer. Just left a Discord. Are you talking about the person that was asking me to bang
About
or something?
6:25 p.m., a large tornado touches down just outside Amber, Oklahoma. Doppler radar records its wind speed at 512 kilometers per hour, the fastest twister ever documented. This is a monster,
My bad.
and it's hurtling towards Dana Brim's home.
And they had said that it was a mile wide and just ferocious, and it was just destroying everything in its path.
With a giant wall of howling wind just 1.6 kilometers away, Dana and her son hide in a closet.
I remember my son, he was screaming and crying. He said, are we going to be okay? I said, we're going to be fine. He said, what do we do? And I said, we pray.
Dana's fear turns to panic when
Gosh,
she hears
poor
the tornado
kids. It's
strike.
gotta be so awful for kids.
There was kind of a high-pitched squeal to it. And then, of course, the sound of everything, the windows just blowing out. The house was shaking. We could hear the beams in the roof breaking. The walls just lifted up, and we could feel really cold air rushing underneath. And within seconds of that, the house just blew up. And I couldn't breathe. I had sucked in so much dirt.
See, that's what I was
that
talking
couldn't
about. The can't breathe when you're in the tornado like that, and it's just like sucking the air out of your lungs. That's so scary.
Breathe anymore.
When are we going to start up that Discord? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know, friends. Would I ever do a Discord? I don't know. I mean, maybe in the future, but as of right now, I have no intention to start a Discord just because I feel like Discord gets really hairy really fast. After being in multiple different Discords for different things, they feel overwhelming to me. And so I wouldn't want to start a Discord that I wasn't actively really part of. And I also don't want to have to be responsible if things do get out of hand, if that makes sense. Maybe in the future I'll change my mind, but as of right now, I don't know. I heard it hurt him really bad psychologically. Huh? Oh, sorry. I don't know what we're talking about, guys. I don't know what we're talking about. Don't take anything I say seriously because I have no idea what's happening. In my personal opinion, the EF scale is an unreliable indicator of tornadoes' power. I mean, you're not wrong. I think it's just really all we have right now because we just simply still don't really know exactly what's happening in tornadoes. But I am personally really pumped to see how we improve in the meteorological field, like just the weather enterprise as a whole. I'm really pumped to see how far along it goes just in our lifetimes. So I'm very excited. You fully believe that 320 plus mile per hour wind gusts happened and they're probably stronger. I mean, it's certainly possible. The crazy thing is like, we just don't, there's so much we still don't know, which is almost unreal to think about. Yeah, Discord servers are low-key stressful. Even being in other people's Discord like stress me out. I try to read every person's comment, but then I end up like not understanding what's happening.
I thought this is it, and I remember just praying that God, if this is it, I'm ready.
On the brink of death, the fierce tornado spares Dana's life by lifting her out of the suffocating dirt. When it slams her back to the ground,
I had sucked in so much dirt that I couldn't, and that God.
This tornado spares Dana's life by lifting her out of the.
What is that? I know you guys can't see my mouse, but like there's this massive, like, it looks like a telephone pole or something.
Suffocating dirt.
Or I guess it looks more like wood, but it's still.
When it slams her back to the ground, she's paralyzed with fear.
And I realized then that I didn't have my son.
I don't like that they said she's paralyzed with fear.
So I started screaming for him.
Not perfect
and he
word
came
choice.
running over, and it was just a miracle of God because we were both barefoot. He came running over to me, did not have one puncture wound on his feet.
The F5 continues towards the center of Oklahoma City, crossing major highways filled with rush hour traffic. As the tornado hurtles towards them, some people panic. Crossing major highways.
That is the most like disturbing. Ugh.
Filled with rush hour traffic. As the tornado hurtles towards them, some people panic. They abandon their cars in a desperate attempt to find shelter. For a few, that decision has fatal consequences. 3 people seeking refuge under freeway overpasses are killed by debris and the sheer force of the wind.
They were lucky to live.
Stranded cars block escape routes for many others.
Shields Boulevard in Oklahoma City essentially became a huge parking lot, and it blocked people from being able to escape the tornado.
By the time the F5 dissipates, 40 people are dead and nearly 700 injured.
My wife worked in the hospital in Norman that night, and she worked in the emergency room, and they were swamped, of course. She saw some really horrific injuries. People came in covered with splinters of wood, looked like pincushions. So much wood. Awful things.
Many survivors suffer multiple painful.
What?
With splinters of wood, looked like pincushions. So much wood. Awful things.
Many survivors suffer.
Is that, what is that? Yeah, Ian, I totally agree with that. I think it's like, I said earlier that I think retro tornadoes are like, I enjoy covering them more because I really enjoy seeing the older videos from tornadoes from like 1970 to 1990s. I totally agree with that. It's just a little more off-putting.
Multiple painful wounds from being impaled by debris.
The Australian video from Rangeline Road right before Joplin. Yeah, Gabriel, that's a perfect example of one.
Cheryl Brown studied the injuries and deaths in Oklahoma.
There were also injuries that were related to debris being embedded inside the body, all the way from small splinters to very large objects such as 2x4s.
Many survivors suffered debris-related
I was trying
injuries
to figure out
because
what
the
it
tornado destroyed so many
plank or-
homes, spewing countless shards of wood and other material into the air.
Yeah,
The
Gerald
Oklahoma
was
twister leveled nearly 3,000 houses and structures.
3, 2, 1, fire!
73 miles an hour.
Schiff and his team at Clemson University fire 2x4s at more than 160 kilometers per hour into a variety of structures to represent the damage done during a tornado.
I think that the public understands that tornadoes are very dangerous. What they don't.
You know, engineers love nothing more than doing this kind of stuff. They're like, and today we're going to shoot wood planks at objects and measure it. This is very, like, I don't know, stereotypical. It's funny. It did look like an axe handle, Ian. That was kind of what I initially was like. That looks like a axe. You were turning on I-49 South? Holy cow. How do you feel about this whole thing? Carly New Video has the storm stories. Are there any studies about why Central OKC Norman is an ideal microclimate setup for many? Actually, I don't know, but that's a really great question. If there is one, I would love to read it. Maybe I can try to find something like that for y'all. I would love to talk about something like that if so. No way that's real. That should have hit him hard enough to embed in his skull. I mean, stranger things have happened. I see what you mean, but maybe it was just like a surface wound, you know? I mean, I know that's kind of strange, but it's very strange. I don't know. I think we were all trying to figure out what it is. Yeah, Ethan Moriarty lives for that kind of, yeah, absolutely. This seems like a very engineer thing to do. I'm gonna do this.
Construction.
Bang stuff with other stuff.
Against those
See what happens.
Events.
When debris strikes a home, it does far more damage than simply making a hole in a wall or window.
Fire!
It gives the tornado
Harder!
a point of entry. Once inside, inflowing air can rip apart walls and tear off the roof. The home then becomes part of the tornado's arsenal, further fueling the funnel with debris and making it even more destructive.
This type of construction is very typical for residential, brick veneer in front of a wood frame wall.
Fire!
The missile's gone all the way through the wall cavity. Most people that have this type of house would be vulnerable to an F5 tornado.
Fire!
Matt with the 5. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Determined that for a home to withstand the deadly onslaught of debris, the brick veneer must have an 8 centimeter thick backing of concrete.
So this wall here would be...
Oh, I want to hear what Ozark says. Okay. Your uncle who was a firefighter once dealt with an axe like that, but it didn't have anything to do with the tornado. I could never. Oh my gosh. It was trauma, to put it bluntly, nightmares for years, and survivor's guilt as your friend's dad passed in the Pizza Hut on range line protect. I am so sorry. I cannot imagine. That event, I've always said, is just like, I cannot imagine the trauma those people deal with. And there's an interview with a man who survived, who lost his leg, and talks about how he still digs out wood splinters. But like, in my opinion, every single person that went through that, whether they were injured or not, just being there, that undoubtedly had to be such a traumatic experience that like, I was so glad that they did a lot of studies on Joplin after, because of just how traumatic the entire thing was, that like, that is one time that I'm really happy that they decided to do a lot more studies on that event, because it's just, I think it's really eye-opening to, if you guys have it and you're interested, there's studies done by the NWS about all different aspects of Joplin. And I really encourage you guys to check it out. I've talked about it a couple times on my channel before, but I just can't imagine. Wheat straw embedded in a concrete wall. Yeah, that's always very strange. I'm being ignored. Good night. I mean, I am very sorry I didn't see your comment. Let me see. Okay, I see. Paramedics, Force 5, Bridge Creek. It's all about the May 3rd tornado. They were going to follow the responders around for a typical day, but the tornado hit, so they got a hell of an episode out of it. Oh, yeah, okay. I bet. I mean, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that thing on May 3rd or any of that. That's just also probably incredibly traumatic to have been a part of. How many pages of NWS reports have you read? Many. Where's my reports? Where are they? I usually keep a stack with me. Well, maybe they're in the office. I've read many, but I do enjoy them. I always recommend them. Who said they have to get going? Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat the best I can, but I've fallen behind, you guys. Scott, yeah, thank you so much for joining, Scott. I appreciate you. Have a good evening. Am I still gonna do live stream on Tuesday? I'm gonna try my best. I don't want to promise anything because I know I had said I was going to, but I've just been finding it hard lately to have a consistent schedule, and it's something I'm working on. So when I am able to do a consistent Tuesday live stream, I will. I just want to be sure I'm not gonna promise something I can't uphold. So that's what I'm waiting on. Yeah, thank you so much, Scott, for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you have a good evening.
Suitable for a shelter to resist tornadoes.
I'll probably finish this this documentary. There's like 10 minutes left, and then probably wrap it up. Have we seen Blaze yet? You want to see him again? Blaze!
Most homes in Oklahoma City were brick veneer with wood frames. This common construction, coupled with the sheer number of homes in the tornado's path, increased the debris field exponentially.
Wow.
Dana Grimm survived with a broken back, her son with a puncture wound to his chest.
I truly believe that the reason that I was thrown twice, if I had not been picked back up and thrown again, I would have suffocated because I could not breathe in anymore.
10 supercell storms spawned 70 tornadoes that spring day, including the F5 that cut a 24-kilometer path over interstate highways and devastated several suburbs of Oklahoma City.
It was sad. I think there were 14 in our own housing addition that died. And it's a miracle of God that we didn't.
The Oklahoma tornado caused more than $1 billion in damage, the costliest tornado in U.S. history.
Complete and total devastation. The homes that you see over here now were completely gone. It was a rubble pile. If you had been in the open, it would not.
Anonymous with the 20. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so pleased with what we've earned so far, guys. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I think we're going to finish up this last 10 minutes of this documentary here, and then I'm probably gonna wrap it up.
Been a very pleasant place to be.
Things would have been much worse if the tornado had veered just 16 kilometers to the west, striking the heart of downtown Oklahoma City.
Oh, downtown OKC, yeah.
Even so, the Moore, Oklahoma tornado and its companion twisters rank as the most deadly and destructive outbreak in modern history. They would be far surpassed by an F5 striking a major American city. That would
Kevin,
be a
thank you for
mega
being
disaster.
here. Thank you,
One
thank you, thank you.
experts
Have a good
warn
night.
could happen. Every year, major U.S. cities in Tornado Alley play a game of Russian roulette with massive twisters that wreak havoc
Gabriel,
there.
thank you for being here. Also, have a good night
In
to you
1999,
too.
Oklahoma City lost the game when a giant tornado killed 40 people, injured nearly 700, and racked up costs of more than $1 billion. Only sheer luck kept the tornado from striking downtown. Researcher Scott Ray knows the next major city to be struck by an F5 may not be so fortunate.
Okay,
Dallas
this is the future
is
then.
overdue for a large, violent class tornado.
Dallas, Texas is a boomtown sprawled along the southern boundary of Tornado Alley. It's one of the largest.
Ian with the 5. Thank you again, Ian. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. One more donation before you leave. Thank you. I appreciate that. The last thing they're going to talk about here, it's to answer your question, Samuel, it's just been talking about different, pretty catastrophic tornadoes that have hit areas. And I think this last one they're going to discuss is a kind of what if scenario. And it looks like they're going to talk about if a violent tornado hit Dallas. So we'll see.
And fastest growing metro areas in the US, with more than 5 million residents and 600 corporate headquarters.
5 million Dallas. Let's see what it's at.
Dallas is 10 times larger than Oklahoma City.
I was shocked a bit when I saw some of the aerial footage of Oklahoma City. The amount of damage that had occurred in that was pretty amazing.
7.7
Ray
million.
assists local governments with planning for hazards, especially threats from tornadoes. To help Dallas prepare for a possible mega disaster, he has modeled over 60 different scenarios of how the Dallas region would be affected by a violent tornado.
For reasons of credibility, it was very important that we look at an event that actually had occurred somewhere else. So we took the event at Oklahoma City basically because the data
If Bridge Creek went over Dallas,
it was very good for that particular event, and we could transpose it by just moving those same geographical characteristics of the tornado on top of the geography of Dallas-Fort Worth. So we got to see it kind of from our own perspective.
Ray and his team painstakingly overlaid the exact path taken by the Oklahoma tornadoes over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. A mega disaster unfolds when Oklahoma's F5 tornado rampages through downtown Dallas.
It would easily be the worst damaging tornado event that we have had to date in the U.S.
yes, I only have one cat, Blaze. A mega disaster.
Ray's nightmare scenario begins as a supercell storm forms over north-central Texas. A 160-kilometer-per-hour tornado, an F3, touches down in a dusty field.
Here we go with the CGI. Strap in, ladies.
10 miles southwest of Dallas. Its first target is the suburb of Cockrell Hill. High-packing winds in excess of 320 kilometers per hour. Cars are tossed aside.
Not the florist.
Buildings are decimated. The tornado continues northeast, unrelenting in its assault on thousands of homes.
Okay.
The twister's internal wind speed rise past 400
yeah, buckle up,
kilometers
ladies.
per hour, turning it into an F5. Fueled by tons of debris, the giant tornado slows as it descends on the busy freeway.
Ooh, check it out. Oh,
A clogged highway holds a heck of a lot more people than one that is moving comfortably. And
This guy, the only thing he talks about to his family is like what would happen if a tornado hit Dallas. It's like all he ever talks about. And they're like, he comes home and he's like, and today, they're like, can you talk about something else, please? Yeah, Samuel, it did look like a little mini hurricane from the top. That tornado identified as a hurricane. Yeah, this guy doesn't talk about anything else in his life.
the other problem that you have is where do you go?
Anonymous donated 20. Thank you. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much. I don't know. What are we at now? You guys are knocking it out of the park. I'm just so shocked. Thank you guys so much. Hightower's job in police academy before he became a police officer was a florist. Oh, interesting.
Panic ensues as many abandon
Everyone
their
sighs.
cars, creating a traffic jam that traps thousands.
I don't know if this is scientific. Is this what a tornado looks like from above? Because I don't think so. Fact checkers, where are you? Meteorologist Sandy Hill. This doesn't look right to me.
Panic ensues as many abandon their cars, creating a traffic jam that traps thousands.
I don't know, folks. I bet you wouldn't say that you hated me if a tornado came across DFW. Why would I say I hate you? I wouldn't say that.
The 440.
Jessica, great question, actually. Thank you for reminding me. Is it possible to donate after the stream ends? Yes. I've left this fundraiser open until October 4th, so it's not going to close completely until October 4th. So what that means is that anyone who wants to watch the playback later who isn't here is able to go in and still donate to the fund until October 4th. So that gives it 2 days for us to do that, and anyone who comes in later can. So yeah, till October 4th, and then it'll get sent off. And I really wanted to do it this way because with super chats and stuff, it takes a portion of that and goes to YouTube. So this way they get all of the money and it goes directly to them. There's no any other transfer of money that has to happen. So you guys know it goes directly to the charity, which is great. Yeah, y'all are on something tonight. I am too, though, so it's okay. I definitely said poop on stream, so who am I to talk? Carly, if you could show what shelters... Yes, I did. Thank you, Amy. I did earlier, but I have not I have not done it since, and I think there's probably a lot of new people, so let's go over it really quick. How fast will you be able to help? So what happens is I've left this open until the 4th, October 4th. So what happens is this fundraiser is open on my YouTube channel until October 4th, and then all of that goes directly to Animal League America. I don't know specifically how long it takes for it to go from my YouTube fundraiser to them, but it goes directly to them. It doesn't go to me or anything. It goes right to them, but I can look into that for you when exactly it will be. But I do know it's at the very least open until October 4th on my channel. So here is where we are raising money for today. This is Animal League America. They are the world's largest no-kill animal rescue and adoption organization. I picked this one because they do incredible work. They are also doing a drive right now for Hurricane Ian. They are a long-standing nonprofit, so they've just really been reputable and done a lot of work. So right now their teams are working with partners in local areas in Florida in the hardest hit regions. So they're collecting supplies, but of course they also accept donations as well. So yes, YouTube's paying all the transaction fees. Thank you, Andy, for pointing that out. My brain won't work. So yeah, this is the one we're raising for right now, but I also highlighted earlier, and I want to highlight again, the other shelters that I picked. So if you don't want to donate today, I have compiled a list of other shelters that are in Florida right now. 2 in particular, the first one being American Humane, another nonprofit that is in Florida right now performing rescues, helping to feed animals and to give them shelter. American Humane's, again, another organization that's been around for a long time. So I really liked them. And they are working alongside a organization called Code 3 Associates. And Code 3 Associates simply, are essentially rather, does animal rescues. They are specially trained to perform rescues. So in any natural disaster that happens, they go in and have a team of specialists essentially that goes in, and they have this giant truck called BART. Which, as you can see, is this massive truck that they have supplies and equipment on. And they also sponsor people to get trained as well. So it's another great charity. These two are working together, Code 3 Associates and American Humane. But again, I have made an entire list here of ones that I picked that I felt were just really great. So that's on my Twitter if anyone's interested. I don't expect anyone to have to donate. Really the main point today was to get the word out, to let these organizations be seen and heard, and just to kind of open it up for people to see what options are available for some of these animals that are being impacted by Hurricane Ian. So yeah, those are the main ones. But of course there's a lot of stuff out there. I'm just really excited that we were able to contribute in my opinion, a large amount of money today. So I am just so very grateful for all of you guys for being here, for just watching and participating, and a huge thank you to anyone that's donated today. So I'm just over the moon. If you guys didn't know, if you weren't here at first, my original goal was $400 today because I really didn't know what to expect. This is my first fundraiser. I didn't know how many people were going to show up. So the fact that you guys really came through and knocked it out of the park is just a testament to the fact that you guys are incredible, and you guys want to show up for a community. So I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You guys have absolutely blown me away today, and yeah, I can't believe I have people that are just so kind here. So yeah, I feel like I haven't really done anything. You guys are the ones that have done everything. I'm also going to be contributing from my YouTube earnings as well, donating to this fund too, and some of the other ones that I've showed you guys. So I'll have, once everything is completely finished after October 4th, when this is closed, I will do another posting to show you guys exactly what we've earned, and how everything's turned out, and then what I'm contributing as well. So I'm speechless. What can I say? The Paw Squad, Cindy, that's really cute. Your dog was a rescue from Hurricane Harvey? Oh my gosh, what a sweet baby. My gosh. We have raised over $1,000, which again is like, what? I was talking to my husband before this and I was like, I don't know what to set it as. And I was like, I'll do 400 because I think that's kind of a lot, but like, I don't know if we're going to get to 400. Yeah, thank you everybody for their generosity. I think that's probably where I'm gonna wrap it up. I feel really good about what we did today, and yeah, you guys are incredible. And thank you to Amy and Andy for being my mods, even though they didn't ask. I just made them be my mods because I trust them. So thank you, Amy and Andy, who didn't ask to do this. I appreciate you guys. Let's see. I'm gonna take a screen grab of this and this. All right. Yep. So if you look down, there's 28 hours left. We've raised $1,131 thus far. Wow. Holy cow. I'm gonna make my head big again so I can wrap it up. Big head. At least I could clear my name. No, Ian, thank you for your contribution today. I appreciate it. I think that's it, guys. We did great work today. I'm proud. You guys rock. There's 28 hours left. So it is what it is. Hopefully we'll get more people to donate. We might even reach 1,200 by the 4th. So I'm looking forward to it. You guys rock. I'm going to be working on a new video starting tomorrow. Maybe even this evening. Maybe I'll start on it this evening. You guys know I love to read stuff, so I'll start on a new video. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you guys soon in a new Twister video in the next week or so. And again, thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.